Hi Stampers! Today we're going to be making this little belly band card, and I just love this because you can take this little band off without destroying the card, and you can actually put like a little gift certificate or some kind of saying or phrases in here. So I'll show you how to make this. It's really quick and easy, and let's get started. So we're going to be using more mustard cardstock, which is a real pretty golden color. This is going to measure 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches long, and you're going to score at 1 1/8 inches and 5 inches. And we're just going to go ahead and press down the score lines. I've already pre-scored everything. And on the edge of the small flap, the closing flap, we're going to go ahead and use our corner rounder. So we'll do that now. Alright. And then on the inside flap, or excuse me, the outside front flap, we're going to go ahead and be using our stamping wheel. And we're going to be using something called Fast Flowers, which is just a real cute little wheel. And if you've never used this before, I'll kind of explain to you how we're doing this. These are pre-inked cartridges, and I've chosen chocolate chip. It has like a little door on it here. We're going to go ahead and load this into our stamping handle here. And the best way to do this basically is to remember that this little nib on the top here actually stays on the top and locks into this little groove here. So you'll kind of be able to tell more how you're doing it if you remember to just that little thing has to lock into the groove. So when you're putting this in, you just kind of slide it in. There's a spring, and you lock it back. Then you can remove this little door, but we're not going to do that just yet. We're going to go ahead and put our wheel on. And you basically just set that right in here. And it just snaps into place. Okay, so it's that easy. It doesn't come out real easily. You have to kind of pull on it to get it out. Oops, our little door fell off. But just so you have an idea. Once you get this in, you can remove the little door, which I've already taken out. And then this little mechanism here, that's the spring mechanism, just you kind of push on it and push it in, and that unlocks it and pushes it against the wheel so that it gets the ink going on there. So we're going to go ahead and ink up our wheel. And what I've done is I've taken a little piece of scrap paper and I'm just running it across there to make sure that it gets nice and inked up. So again, you're going to take your front of the cardstock, and we're just going to go ahead and run a few lines across that. Okay, so that's how fast that is. The Fast Flowers, that's awesome. I love that thing. And that's going to be the front of our card. Okay, so the next little part we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make our band that goes around it. Take a piece of chocolate chip cardstock, measures 8 inches long by 1 inch wide, and also a piece of old olive cardstock, which measures 8 inches long by 1/4 inch wide. And on the chocolate chip cardstock, we're going to be using our matte pack. And I've already pre-scored the chocolate chip and the old olive in the same places here. I've scored at 1 7/8, and then also I've scored at 5 7/8 inches. So that shows you where I've scored, and I've done that same thing on the old olive. A lot of times I like to skip that step of scoring, but on this you really have to because we're going to be attaching these two pieces together, and it's very thick. If you don't, what's going to happen is this paper is going to bend and tear. So you really do want to do that part. Anyway, so what we're going to go ahead and do is use our little grid from our matte pack, and on this grid there's actually an area that has very, very small holes, and there's 3 rows of them. We're going to use the first 2 rows of those. So I'm going to go ahead and line this up, and I'll show you how to do it on the white paper because it's a little easier to see. There's actually a line there which really helps in guiding how we're going to do this. I'm lining up that line on the edge of the chocolate chip paper, and we're going to do the first 2 rows all the way across using our paper piercer. So I'm just going to go ahead and set that up there. And this actually, the way it's scored, it works out perfectly. So we're just going to be doing this so that that center piece is right in the center of the mat. Go ahead and line up your lines from your little grid. And we're going to use our paper piercer and just do those first 2 rows. So we're just going to go all the way down. And what's great about this little mat pack too is the fact that you can get all your holes even, and the fact that your piercer is only going in a certain depth so that it's not going to be too big of a hole so that you can tear your paper. So this really works out great on these little projects. Just gives us a little more interest on the card itself, rather than just having a plain piece of paper sitting there. And we're almost done. We're almost at the end here. And there we go. So now you have your 2 little rows of holes there. And we're going to go ahead and secure the old olive on top of the chocolate chip, lining up the ends. I'm going to just use some snail adhesive to do that. And match up your score lines and bring it right to the edge of the chocolate chip paper. Okay, so you've got that all done. So now we're going to go ahead and we'll just go ahead and bend that a little bit so we make sure that we've got a nice crease. And when you attach this, you're going to attach it so that the pieces in the back line up. And we're going to be using a little piece of sticky strip to do that. And I have a piece right here. And we'll go ahead and just set that right on there. Cut off a very tiny little piece. That's how we will close this up. Get that little piece off. Alrighty, great. So we've got this all done. And then the only other thing we're going to do is we're going to add a little embellishment right on the belly band. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using the Boho Blossoms Punch. I'm actually using the large flower here. So we're going to go ahead and put another piece of more mustard right in the punch. Punch that out. And then taking our mat again and our paper piercer, we're going to make a hole in the center of the flower. And we're just going to add a chocolate chip brad right onto that. And there we go. So there's a little chocolate chip brad in there. And then we'll attach just this to the center of the belly band. There you go. And then all you have to do is just slip the belly band right onto the card. And you are ready to go. Cute little fast little card with a belly band on it. Hope you enjoyed that. Take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.